They say horses run when they're scared. That's not true. Horses run when they know something behind them is hungry. And this track never lets anything finish alive. I've ridden horses my whole life. Broken bones, thrown saddles, blood in the dirt. But I had never seen a horse refuse to breathe. Mercer stopped breathing the moment we reached the track. The invitation came without warning. No logo, no name, just thick paper stained like it had been dragged through mud. Ridgeway Invitational, midnight race, 1 lap, no spectators. At the bottom, written by hand, do not fall. I laughed. That was mistake number 1. The drive took 6 hours. The last 2 had no signs, no towns, no radio. The road curved in places it shouldn't have. Mercer kicked the trailer walls nonstop, hard, panicked. Horses don't panic without reason. The track appeared suddenly, not built, carved, a massive oval cut into the ground, surrounded by dead trees bent inward, their branches twisted like fingers. No lights, no fences. The dirt was black, wet, moving. 6 riders waited in silence. No greetings, no eye contact. Every horse was shaking. One was bleeding from the eyes. A man stood near the starting line, tall, thin, too still. You finish, he said, voice flat, or the track keeps you. Someone asked, what happens if... The man rang a bell. The ground shuddered. The moment Mercer's hooves touched the dirt, the track inhaled. I felt it through my legs. The dirt tightened around his hooves like hands. Mercer screamed. A horse should not sound like that. We started moving without command. The track pulled us forward. The first turn was wrong. Impossible. One rider leaned slightly too far. The dirt rose, wrapped around his horse's legs. The horse snapped sideways. Its bones bent backward with a sound like breaking wood. The rider didn't fall. The track pulled him down while he was still screaming. The dirt closed, flat again, like nothing happened. Mercer tried to stop. The reins burned my hands. The track clicked, click, click. Every time he breathed, I looked down. Numbers appeared in the dirt beneath his hooves. Counting, the air grew thick, heavy, each breath hurt. Another rider screamed as his horse's shadow detached itself from the body. The shadow kept running. The horse collapsed. Its chest caved inward like something was sucking the air out. The rider was dragged under, still holding the reins. Now there were 4 of us. The trees leaned closer. Their branches scraped together. Whispering, the track tilted inward. A bowl, no escape. The dirt changed texture. Soft, warm, pulsing. Mercer's hooves sank slightly with each step. I felt something brushing my boots from below. Hands, fingers. A woman beside me sobbed uncontrollably. Her horse began running sideways. Its neck twisted backward. It looked at her, eyes too aware. Then the ground opened. They vanished, screaming into darkness that sounded full. Halfway through the lap, the track narrowed. The clicking grew louder, faster. Mercer's breathing turned ragged. Foam dripped from his mouth. Easy, I whispered. The track responded. It tightened. Mercer's ribs pressed inward, like invisible hands were squeezing him. He screamed again. I felt his heart stutter. The man from the start line appeared, standing inside the track. Not running, just standing as we passed, watching, smiling slightly. You're holding him back, he said calmly. I screamed at him. What is this place? The finish, he replied. Only 2 of us remained, me, and a rider whose horse was already bleeding from the mouth. The ground ahead dropped sharply. The rider lost balance. The track rose like a wave, swallowed horse and rider whole. The screaming didn't stop. It just went deeper. I was alone. The track straightened. Ahead stood a wooden post, carved with names, thousands. Horses' names were scratched deeper than the riders'. At the bottom, fresh letters burned into the wood. Mercer, in progress. Mercer collapsed. His legs folded inward like they'd been cut. The track wrapped around his body, slow, deliberate, like it was savoring him. I slid off screaming. I grabbed his head. His eyes rolled toward me. Still alive, still aware. The ground pulled harder. I screamed, "Take me." The track paused. The clicking stopped. Silence. The dirt loosened. The track whispered. Not words. A feeling. Finish alone. I stood up. Mercer screamed as the ground pulled him down inch by inch. I ran. The post split open. A narrow path appeared. Behind me, Mercer's scream cut off. The ground smoothed. I crossed the line. The world snapped black. I woke up on a highway. Morning sun. Trailer behind me. Empty. No horse. Inside the trailer, hoofprints, scratches, and the smell of wet dirt. That night, I dreamed of hooves running behind my bed. Click, click, click. Now, every time I hear a horse breathe, I count, because somewhere, Ridgeway track is still racing, and Mercer never finished. Some tracks don't care who wins. They only care what you're willing to leave behind.